So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Back to throw here. They'll roll him out right. And incomplete on the deep ball. Well, if those at home were wondering if we were going to see some offense in this Super Bowl, I think your answer was right there. Incomplete, but they take a big shot early.
Like the script, if they get the big play early, so much the better. But if nothing else, they send a message. They're going to be aggressive in this game.
Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. They'll drop to throw. Man open, that's Jamar Chase complete. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Part of what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Not the warmest starts throwing the football. He was 1 for 3, now 1 for 4 on the opening drive.
So getting him comfortable is the key. And for him, it might be different than what we think is comfortable. We're probably thinking swing passes, easy check downs. Some guys, they're better off throwing it downfield. That's what really loosens them up.
Back to throw again. And that will be incomplete as well.
Sometimes the game is pretty simple. Put a few extra defensive backs on the field, give them nowhere to throw the football, force the incompletion, and get off the field on 3rd down.
The kick by McManus is good. 3 points, probably not going to win this Super Bowl, but at least you get something on the opening drive.
And it's certainly not going to lose it. So the bottom line is, come away with the points now, come back and get greedy later, and try and put it in the end zone.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. They begin with a run by Davis. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
And slow going there as they'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. On 3rd down, Elway. And the catch made. This is Emmanuel Sanders. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. They give him 27 yards on the third down conversion.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10. Down at the 33. Inside give to Davis.
And an excellent job of finding the opening as he's got this now all the way down to the 22.
10 more there and another first down. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation we were talking about with one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
It's Davis on the counter, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
Sometimes you get all those big guys down there in one spot, and there's just nowhere to go. And in this case, the defensive tackle used his strength and swallowed him up.
Elway now off of play action. As Sanders has it poked free, and the Seahawks have picked it up. There he goes left side. And they bring this one back. It's a fumble recovery and a Seattle touchdown. On here, Brandon McManus for the point after. He's got it, and now it's a 10-0 lead here in the opening quarter. So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. Kene Nwangwu now out of his end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They trail early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. And that closed up quickly there as he gets it up only to about the 17. Credited with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They go again with Davis. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense. And know what they say? Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
This is Smith with the ground. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
Flush to his right. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd.
Well, they certainly took too long to set up play action. That gave the pass rush time to get home for its first sack of the game. For their sake, they may start to think about the quick game and leave play action alone for a little while.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Going for the deep ball. And this is going to be intercepted. So more problems here in this first quarter. Already 2 scores down, and here they give away the football.
And if I'm the head coach, I think it's time to start lighting a fire under some of these guys. Now, you have to do it within your personality. They can't perceive it as fake. But I'd go get after some guys because they don't look ready to play to me. They look flat, uninspired. It's time to get moving.
And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. That brings us to the end of one in Super Bowl 58. Much more to come from Las Vegas after this.
10-zip our score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. On play action, they'll throw. And he's going to hook up with his big tight end, complete. His first ever catch in a Super Bowl, a nice moment, and also a first down. And here's a handoff out of the gun. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
Here's 2nd and 8. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
In every game, we talk about what are going to be the keys as we go into it. Maybe that's a key for their defense today. Pressure the quarterback and make sure you play a good zone defense behind them, and they get their first sack of the contest.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get this up near midfield, but that's still a few yards shy of the first down. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to 4th down.
Brandon, it certainly looked like they had that play defended well, but it still almost worked. Got it to the running back. He wound up getting really good yardage out of it, but it was 3rd and long, and they were able to rally and stop him before he could get to the marker.
They'll try and throw for it here. He's going deep for Brown. And he's got it inside the 10. Touchdown. That certainly went against the traditional ways of playing football, but who cares? Look at the result. Big touchdown.
They went for it on their own side of the 50. So there's conservative, there's aggressive, and there's really aggressive, which is what we just saw there. Tip of the cap to them.
The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Look out of those. First, do no harm. Right now, they're holding themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor. But thank you, Dr. Davis. No whale throw. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Tariq Woolen picks it.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
2 yards, good enough for a first.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. A 10-yard touchdown run. And the Seahawks continue to look good here in the first half of this Super Bowl. McManus's point after is good, and a rout is on here in this first half. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. A throw over the middle, taken in. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Now Elway on first down. His throw incomplete. A reminder, coming up at intermission, we'll get highlights of this Super Bowl from Jonathan Coachman and the crew in Orlando for our EA Sports halftime report. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Here's Elway.
He dumps this off underneath. Here's Davis. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Elway now looking to throw on third. It's complete. He dials up Davis once more.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. It's caught. Smith. And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. So 8 yards on the completion there, and it'll be 2nd and a couple. Play action. It's Elway. That's going to be caught. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
2nd and short, that's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it. And they do so and pick up a first down.
They get this out left. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
He kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
Extra bulk up front for 2nd and inches. 3 tight end. And he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. The sneak successful from a yard out. And the Broncos get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. An extra point by Nagar is up and good. And that'll make it 24-7. The Broncos kickoff unit out there to kick this one away. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. Oh, good-looking return set up here. And now off to the races down the right side. He will score. Touchdown, Seahawks.
And as we've talked to special teams coaches, that theme of being aggressive continues to come through, doesn't it? When they moved the kickoff back to the 35, it was going to cut down on the number of opportunities. But if you've got a special guy, you give him the green light no matter where he fields in the end zone. And in this case, it paid off handsomely.
He fielded it deep in the range of emotions. Maybe like, oh, no, don't. And then all of a sudden you see him break it. You're like, yeah, way to go.
Yeah, sometimes you have to remind your head coach that he approved the green light for bringing it out from deep in the end zone. And that's exactly why he did.
Nuwanger now from his end zone.
The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And a very solid return out across the 45-yard line before going out of bounds.
Well, fit me for a neck brace, partner. One kickoff return in one direction for a touchdown, and the other one, they almost broke going back the other way.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 48. Out of the gun, Elway. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And all the way home for a Broncos score.
Well, that touchdown certainly helps, but they've got to go ahead and convert, get to the half, and figure out how to keep chopping down this lead in the second, don't they?
Yeah, they still need to regroup, and they still need to end the second quarter strong. A little bit of time left. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
He will return this from deep in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And with a 3-score lead already, this is not time for a momentum change, so I'd imagine they'd be happy to just take this into the locker room. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he's not going to go anywhere as they get him down behind the line of scrimmage. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. This time they stay on the ground. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw.
They'll complete this one to Watson.
A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. So we've come upon halftime in the big one, the Super Bowl. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl.
Luongo now from his end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
And right now, their chances of hoisting that Lombardi trophy not looking too great, but perhaps that long halftime, maybe it did them a world of good.
But if there's ever a chance to regroup, it's in this game, right? Because you do have that long halftime, a chance to really assess things and maybe make some changes and true adjustments. They played great all year long. That was the worst first half of the season for them. They're hoping to put it behind them and come out punching here in the second half.
It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out by a few inches. That'll be a 1st down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
A 1st down carry for Davis. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
From the lineman to the guy running with it, that was a well-executed first down by the offense. With 2 shots left to get the first, you can get a little aggressive here on second down if you want and try for some bigger yardage.
And here's Davis to run again on second.
No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
Elway. Over the middle, Sharp's got it complete. Touchdown, Broncos. That's the score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away.
This will be returned from deep in the end zone. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
And they were terrific in the first half, built up a sizable lead, and it's just been cut into a bit following the opening drive score on the other side. But this is a unit that has to be itching to get the football again.
And you can say that again. They've got to be pretty eager because, let's face it, they've had to sit through halftime, then sit on the sidelines and watch that drive. So you can bet that they're saying, let's get on with this. We got to go out there and get some more points.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. He'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Well, you most certainly don't want to go 3 and out here and get the football right back because your friend, Old Momentum, he's wondering if he should change sidelines about right now. And if you don't convert here, guess what? He's going to make the trek to the opposite side, and all of a sudden, you've got a battle on your hands.
That's into a crowd and intercepted. And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football.
So, my goodness, I would have thought this possible not too long ago, but that turnover there means we have a game again.
Yeah, it's been a completely different team here in the second half. I just wonder on the other side of the field where the starters telling the backups, get ready, you're going to get some playing time. And now guess what? Hope they didn't cut the tape off of their wrists and ankles. They've got to go back out there and play.
After the interception, here's Elway. He'll let this thing go for Sanders.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far.
Shaquille Griffin with a pick.
And the Seahawks are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line.
Well, that puts a little bit of a wrinkle in their comeback bid.
Yeah, everything had turned around for them, hadn't it? I mean, things were now going their way. But you did mention it's a wrinkle in their comeback bid. It's not the death knell for them by any stretch, but now they've got some extra work to do in order to climb all the way back.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's got a man complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big pickup of 38. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10.
And they'll run on the inside handoff.
And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left them no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
That is certainly one way to frustrate a quarterback. When those extra defenders on the field, dime package, lots of speed, no space to fit in the football.
And this one is no good. He missed it. And the lead will hold at 10.
I don't care who you are. 60 yards is a very ambitious attempt. Hard to make even in practice in the best of conditions. And now, worst of all, you give the other guys the ball to start their drive at midfield.
They'll try to get the run game going. Here's Davis.
And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33. 53 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
Brandon, I think you and I were both raised the same way in the game of football. You run to set up the pass, but I think we've discovered in this NFL, a lot of teams pass to set up the run. And that's what they've done throughout this game. They've aired it out, thrown it around the yard. Now they've come back to the running game, and they found a way to be successful with it.
Throwing now, Elway on first down. That's complete to Sharp. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. Play action, Elway. And that will be caught, but out of the end zone, says the field judge. It's ruled incomplete.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss on one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, got the shot, and he misfires.
We talk about, boy, he'll want that one back all the time. He definitely wants that one back. Up the middle to Davis. Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line. From the shotgun, Elway. And this one incomplete. And another throw that really could have been, maybe should have been intercepted. That would have been number 4. Instead, it's 4th down. The guard's kick is good. And this is back down to a 7-point game. So give him 3 on that drive. You know, normally you'd say we'll take it, but the way points have been flying around, it feels like a little bit of a letdown.
Yeah, you just have to wonder, are field goals going to be enough? Because as you pointed out, the way touchdowns have been scored, does kicking a field goal actually put you at a disadvantage the rest of the way?
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they've got to be a little bit frustrated about that last drive, missed field goal.
Always hurts a team because, you know, you've put something out there, you've given yourself a chance, you're in range, and the ball doesn't go through the post. But it's not something to panic about, I don't believe. Just keep playing and keep going.
Now back to throw. And the Broncos get there and take him down. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down.
And we all know how talented this guy is who's calling the signals for him. But even the best in the game, they can struggle against a good, cohesive zone coverage. Can't find a gap in the secondary quick enough, and he ends up taking a sack.
Looking to throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
And that's a really good job there defensively. They went into this possession knowing that they needed to get a stop. They're in a tight ball game, and they got it done. Great work to force the 3 and out. Got the football right back for their offense. They've got to go to the sidelines feeling pretty good about themselves and encouraging their offensive mates to get some points.
Fielded at the 20. There he goes, right side. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Just a fantastic punt return of 80 yards. And the Broncos are an extra point away from tying up this Super Bowl.
An extra point by Nagar is up and good.
And that will tie our game here in the third. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away.
Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out.
The Seahawks take over first down. They're on 17.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive.
He finds his receiver, Watson.
And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action.
We are through 3 quarters of play here from Allegiant Stadium in Super Bowl 58.
You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Second and 6.
And complete once again to Watson.
Will be a gain of 5, and that'll leave him with a third and just a yard.
That's a gain of 5. Brings up third and 1.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
They'll run it. Here's Lynch. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage.
That tackle by Jeffrey Simmons.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the proof. You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the proof. You gotta choose. Yeah, I jump out the booth. Then I might hop through the roof. Got all the rings, stuff. My team is the truth, but they some liars to you. And they never sing, but they always shoot. And all of their diamonds are new. And that's why I'm here with villain, cause I really get it. And I need all my honeys in blue. You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the proof. You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the proof. You gotta choose. Make a choice. I need 100 pack for my boys. Be hating and talking and hating. I bet you I kill the noise. I've been a man like I'm Peyton. I boost up my rating. You know how I play with toys. Pop out on any occasion, get standing ovations. They can't help it but rejoice. They all wanna follow me, cause I got my foot on the opposition neck and ain't no apology. 100 yards, you know I own all the property. Daddy's home, you know I own all the property. You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the proof. You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the proof. You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose.
Madden Football is the home of the Super Bowl, and this historic matchup is brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Seahawks and the Broncos. All that and more coming up next.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. We count down to kickoff in what should be an epic one here. As it'll be the AFC champion Denver Broncos taking on the NFC champions. Kene Nwangwu now out of his end zone.
The Broncos take over first and 10 at their own 15-yard line.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, second and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard. On the draw, this is Davis. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on first and 10. They'll run it again here with Davis. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy set the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
On first, they'll throw with Elway. He's going to rifle one deep left side. Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by A.J. Terrell. And the Seahawks are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line.
Well, they certainly took a shot to open this game. I know it backfired with the interception, but no lack of bravado from that sideline at all. And look, they told us before the ball game, they wanted to be a little more dangerous on offense. They wanted to take a few more chances. That opening pass certainly set a tone. Maybe a turnover, but I don't think it'll stop them from trying again the rest of this game.
And he can only manage to get a couple. Second and 8 coming up.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
The last run good for 2. Here's second and 8. They'll set up to throw. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. The first drive here and the first time that we've called the big tight end's name, but I can assure you this, Charles, it won't be the last.
No, it won't, because when he gets going, now it opens up opportunities on the perimeter because that'll draw the defense towards him in the middle of the field. Now your wide receivers will get involved as this game goes on.
Trying to lay one up deep. And this one almost intercepted. Not a good throw there. Nearly an opening drive INT.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. When the guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they run successful.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Von Miller, credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. So it's third and long, and defensively not a real surprise there in the dime. They'll set up a throw. He has it complete to Christian Watson. And it's a 15-yard pickup, but it'll lead to a fourth down.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain. Still a ways to go, though. And a throw right sideline is complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off for the first down. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
2nd and 9 now. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 29-yard line. That one good for 16 as the drive continues. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. Credited with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
They'll look to throw. He's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Now a timeout called for by the defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
How about that, partner? His 2nd sack of the game, and that puts him in some pretty good company. 17 guys have had 2 sacks in the previous 52 Super Bowls, but only 3 have had the record number of 3 sacks in this game.
And we've got the list here. If he gets another one and everyone behaves nicely, we might just list those out for him.
Hands it off out of the gun.
And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. Now a timeout called for by the defense. And that's their 2nd charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. The kick by McManus is good. And the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They trail early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. Sliding out of the pocket. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Everyone rolls into the Super Bowl saying, hey, I'm confident. I'll just do what I did before. But let's face it, you got to be wary of the jitters going into a big game like this. Super Bowl is unlike any other game you're going to play.
And now he's starting out 0 for 2. We'll see if he can rebound. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Elway. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that's caught inside the 35.
And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as...
And this is going to be intercepted.
Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And the Seahawks are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
Well, your first drive of the first quarter, you get it down there, trying to fire it in the end zone, and big-time deflation on that play.
No doubt about it. They're moving and grooving and getting into position, and this is not the ending that they saw on this drive, is it? They had things going their way.
And down to a knee. That's one option.